Welcome back, everybody. 12 Talk podcast coming back to you. Very tired Josh and a very slender-looking Mitch with a very nice cap. I like your baseball cap, sir. You've still got a sticker underneath here, though. Oh, and the UK Seahawkers patch. Well, we're back for Draft Crushes episode 5, and we have got a 12 Talkers special here. So all members of our Discord, we have got, and Mitch laid this out very nicely for us. So we have got 3 countries represented. That's right, isn't it? We've got England, Wales, and Deutschland, with Correct. 3 returning guests. So we've got Rich, we've got Jonas, and we've got Gary, who will hopefully be joining us soon as well. We are going to be going through their draft crushes. We've had draft crushes from different people already, different Seahawks podcasters, but as we're a podcast by 12s, for 12s, with 12s, why not speak to the 12s about it? So what we're going to do today, we are going to look at what the Seahawks need in the draft. We're going to name the players we really want to be a Seahawk, look at the draft crushes, and who from last year's class is most likely to kick on in year 2. We're also going to talk about the new QB in town, returning QB in town, Mr. Drew Lock. So before we do that, as always, we are extremely proud to be the UK Seahawkers official podcast. Now, if you want to become a UK Seahawker, it's £12 for one person, £20 for a family of up to 4 in the UK. You get access to our national meetups. You can access game day field passes. You get 10% off at the pro shop. You get exclusive competitions and prizes and much, much more, including some cool stats which we get each year. This year, we got some awesome coasters, which are currently rocking on my desk. You get a nice patch, which Mitch is rocking on his draft out there, which I'm pretty sure he'll be wearing when we go to the meetup. You get your wristband and you get your membership card. And this year, we are going to be meeting up at Admiral Woods on Waterloo Street in Glasgow on Saturday, the 3rd of May. Mitch and I are going to be there from the 2nd. We'll probably get a curry and a couple of beers. And then during the day, a bit of sightseeing around Glasgow. If you want to go and you're a UK Seahawker, it's £5 per person. Nothing. There's still tickets available. If you're not a UK Seahawker but you want to go, join the UK Seahawks and then pay your £5. So it'll be £17 and then get yourself to Glasgow. An awesome time. And like I said, we'll be there. We'll be doing interviews with UK Seahawkers. We've got some fantastic giveaways from our charity partner, the Robin Cancer Trust. These are some of the UK Seahawkers last year. Fine bunch. And we'll get some nice group pictures this year. And Seahawker of the Year nominations are also open. Check your inboxes and cast your votes for them as well. It could be whoever you think deserves it, whether the best fan there or they've done some fantastic charitable work or anything to raise awareness or just bring some joy to their community. As I mentioned, the Robin Cancer Trust, here he is again. Am I pointing the right way? Bosh, yes, there you go. Toby, that man over there dressed as a giant ball bag. He's just completed the Brighton Marathon dressed as that giant ball bag. Toby is running 500 kilometers dressed as a ball bag with one goal, that's to save lives and raise awareness for testicular and germ cell cancer. Now, you can follow Toby on his socials at Toby Talks Bollocks. You can follow the Robin Cancer Trust at the Robin Cancer Trust. And you can help give whatever you can or just share, raise awareness. We share it on our socials, and that's what we're here to do, just raise awareness within the NFL community. And also, if you want to use the hashtags Talking Bollocks or Not Overreacting, you will help with their reach. But, Mitch, should we get our guests on?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it. And currently there's 4 because this man joined us a bit later. Gary, you're in. Rich, yes, Gary. How's it going? How are we all doing?
Fine. How are you? Thank you for the invite.
So what we'll do for the purpose of this, we'll do it in a clockwise direction. There you go. So, Mitch, I'm going to skip over you because I know how you're doing. So, Jonas, tell us how you're doing. What have you been up to recently?
Yeah, the usual draft madness, pre-draft madness. I think yesterday we actually had Bryce Coots on our podcast, which comes out tomorrow. If anybody is interested, you can skip the German bit in the beginning and roll right to the English bit. So yeah, we're doing great, and yeah, loving the coverage, and really excited about the draft.
Excellent. Rich, what about yourself, sir?
Hey, good evening. How's everyone doing? Yeah, just loving the Welsh weather, and you don't say that very often. It's been 2 weeks of sun, which I can't quite believe. So yeah, just embracing that and just getting out and about and looking forward to this draft coming closer, really. So I'm getting stuck into what we're going to discuss. And yeah, thanks for inviting me back as well.
Always a pleasure. And finally, Mr. Latecomer, Gary. Gary, you joined us. You made it.
Yes, thank you.
How are you doing, mate? You're right.
I got it all wrong. I got the timing all wrong. And I seem to be having issues as well because I keep losing you. So I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We've got you, mate. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. So I don't know what's going on. You keep going in and out. So I'm not quite sure what's happening.
So if Gary, if at any point we lose you during this stream, it might be if Gary has to jump out and jump back in. Don't worry, you'll always be welcome onto the stream. You've got it there. So we want to say, first of all, a very big thank you to everyone who's joined us, whether you're UK Seahawker or you've come across us on YouTube or X or Instagram. If you're new, by all means, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We really appreciate it. It really helps us grow. When I say grow, we are growing as a community. And all of the gentlemen here with me today are a part of our Discord community. It's growing every single episode. We absolutely love it. We've got people in there from Germany, such as Jonas, Wales, the UK. We've got Gibraltar. We've got, I've lost who. We've got Canada, America, obviously. We've got 12s from all over, and we're just collecting them like Pokemon. And if you haven't joined, Mitch will be popping that in our comments section, which is down there or to the side. I'm not sure which way it works on a live, but either way, come and join us. And for the purpose of this, we'll be doing a mock draft at the end, and we'll be using Walk the Mock. And if you want to use it, use code 12Talk when you sign up. You get 20% off the full experience. But gentlemen, shall we start? So Gary's just had to dip out, but that doesn't mean we don't go away from our clockwise direction. So Drew Lock. Who saw that coming?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I to be honest with you, we've got what, 5 quarterbacks on the roster now. We've got Jared Hall, we've got John Reese Plumlee, we've got Howell, we've got Darnold,
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and now we've got Locke as well. And there's 3 quarterbacks in there who have all played at least a season at senior level in the NFL. So that's a bit mad to me. It reeks of competition for QB2 for me, and also I wonder what these guys are going to say about if we take a quarterback in this draft, where it's likely to be, because I certainly don't think you carry 5 quarterbacks, 3 of them with NFL starting experience, and waste a day 2 pick on a quarterback. But what do other people think about that? I don't know.
You're up first, mate.
Yeah, I think the Sam Howell experiment is over. I don't know if he's going to be on the roster. I think Drew Lock is actually a better fit for the QBX system than Sam Howell is, first of all. And then John Schneider obviously loves Drew Lock. He speaks glowingly about him, and they saw the opportunity to get him back. And it's a 2-year deal. If it was a 1-year deal, I would say okay, yeah, maybe Sam Howell's still in the mix, but 2-year deal worth $5 million, so it's all right. And the one thing that Drew Lock proved what Sam Howell couldn't last year is that Drew Lock was able to win a football game for the Seahawks. Sam Howell was awful against the Packers, and in 2023, Drew Lock actually was decent against the 49er team who was better than. And he basically won the Seahawks the game against the Eagles. So it's a clearly a hint for me that John Schneider will take his loss and probably exploring options to trade him, because if you cut him, you really wasted some picks. So I think they want to trade him.
Rich?
Yeah, I just think that's the end of Sam Howell. Drew Lock is obviously familiar with the area, the fan base, the facility. Yeah, the coaching staff are different to when he was here last time, but it's not going to take long for him to fit back in, really, is it, as an individual as well? So I think that's probably important to be a backup behind Sam. But obviously we're not going to draft anybody now, at least high up. So if we ever were going to do anything drastic to go and get somebody, that is completely out of the way now. So I think it's just a case, bring him in as QB2. Sadly, Sam's going to have to go on his way now. It hasn't worked. And I think he'll fit back in. Second fiddle behind Sam.
Yeah.
Gaz?
Gary?
Yeah, sorry about the technical issues. Hopefully they've been sorted now. Hopefully everything works. I am technically challenged, so apologies. I agree with everything Jonas said. I'm not sure what's going on with Sam Howell. I presume he's going to be going potentially quarterback 3 if they keep 3, but I can't really see that happening. John does like Drew Lock. I think that's part of the reason why Gino probably was a bit miffed as well, because he did at the beginning of last season, they did mention Drew Lock a lot, even though he wasn't signed with us. So I think that's something that's definitely in Drew Lock's favour. I think he's a decent backup. I won't be so confident about him being a starter, but we shall see.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of those where I think you've all kind of hit the nail on the head. There's familiarity with the organisation. Schneider's already turned around and said that he loves Drew Lock. That's why he brought him in the first place. We've seen the sample size of Sam Howell. I think even though Schneider has said that he loved him during the draft, I think he's now seen what he's like in the professional ranks and gone, he's not going to cut it. If we have to throw him in for a couple of games because of an injury, there's no confidence there that he could win a game, whereas Drew Lock has shown he can do it. Even in New York, it wasn't it's not the best franchise for anyone to go to, but there was flashes there that he can still do it at a high level. He's not a starting QB anymore, but I think he's a very functional backup, and that's going to be the role he's going to play. And I think you'd be crazy to think that he's not going to win out the QB2 battle against Sam Howell or Jared Hall or John Reese Plumlee, who by all accounts is going to be looking at that Taysom Hill role anyway in the Kubiak offense. Mitch?
Yeah, as I said when we opened up with this, five is going to become 3 quite quickly. But if you look back to this, well, not this time last year, like this time last year plus a month and a half, we were loaded up with undrafted quarterbacks, and the Camp Arm sort of quarterback room that we had kept shifting. The players we picked up in, the UDFAs that we picked up didn't last more than a week or 2, and we really were wondering what was going to happen. Well, this year going into camp, we're going to have 5 notable quarterbacks for that. So that's a better situation. We're not paying that much to Howell, are we? It's $1.5 million or 175 or something. It's not. So it's not like we're carrying 5 quarterbacks and we're paying them 80 million. It's we're carrying 5 quarterbacks and we're paying them 48, 47 or something. So realistically, we're in a great spot at that position, and I just think that now rules out a day 2 pick on a quarterback. I think if one of the sort of mid-tier quarterbacks falls to a 4th round, they might take a shot, but realistically now, a lot of those QBs that we've talked about are probably way off the radar.
Yeah, I think I read something the other day. Oh, go on, Jonas.
Yeah, one interesting tidbit. We spoke to Bryce yesterday, and he told us that he got a source who told him that the Sam Howell camp actually was pretty pissed when the Seahawks signed Sam Darnold. So the Sam Howell obviously sees himself a bit differently than the Seahawks do. So I think that's pretty telling. So I think the Sam Howell experiment is over because Bryce obviously got some insight there. So yeah,
I know it's the job of an agent to blow smoke up your client, but how much smoke has he blown up Sam Howell? I mean, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, you know, if Washington had a better game plan, you could have been, Jaden Daniels and that team." No, you couldn't. You came here last year, and everything we saw in preseason was, everything we've seen him in. You see training camp videos or like any of the training sessions, and there's reports of like some of his throws being so wayward, not being able to hit some of his wide open receivers, his decision making being completely off. How deluded? I mean, there's got to be a certain degree of self belief to be a professional athlete, especially in the most high pressured position in sport. But self belief and delusion is a very fine line. And I think at some point, an agent makes someone cross that fine line, and that's when you become your. I don't want to sort of single out any particular players who think they're better than they are, but there are a few out there. I'll let people in the comments tell us. If you are in the comments, you are watching this, thank you so much again. If you have anything you want to say on this, let us know, because by all means, I will chuck as many comments up as I can. Sorry, I'm extremely tired today. With this, we were going to talk about what player you wanted first, but I think firstly, as somebody on our panel is wearing one of our rookie jerseys from last year, should we talk about who? And it could be a red herring. You never know. Let us know who you think it is. Should we talk about which player from last year's draft class is going to make the leap this year? And then we can go on to our draft crushes and then the mock. Yeah?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Mitch, go on, you start us, mate.
I think there's an obvious one. And it's for me, it's obvious because he was so disappointing last year. And some people said Byron Murphy had a disappointing year, but only because of the hype that was around him and the positions we put him in to enable the rest of the line. The person who I think was a bad fit for the team last year could now be a perfect fit for this year, and that is Haynes. I think Haynes could be everything that we hoped he would be and more this year, without having to change too much, but also having a full off season, with the coaching staff and the conditioning team. I think he will be a serious improvement in an area where we really need one. So, I'm hanging my hat on Haynes having a better year and being a better fit for what we're going to do. So that's definitely my tip off. What about you, Jonas?
Yeah, I totally agree. I got Christian Haynes as well. Like you always say, he was a square peg in a round hole. He just didn't fit into whatever system Ryan Grubb and Scott Huff were running. It was sort of a hybrid power gap zone scheme. I don't know. It was really wild. And I think Haynes is going to be a force, especially in the second level blocking, because he was at UConn and he was supposed to be the best pure guard in the 2024 class. And I think he's just made for this wide zone scheme that Clint Kubiak's going to run. And I find it too easy to say, okay, saying after a year, okay, he's a bust, he won't do anything. I think the Seahawks do invest in their offensive line. If you look at the statistics, John Schneider is drafting offensive linemen, but they don't give them time to develop. If you just have to look at Philly, where they do develop their linemen, sit them for a year, and then Cam Jurgens is the best example. He was sitting behind Jason Kelce for a year, and last year he was Philly's Super Bowl starter. So I think Christian Haynes is going to be a force.
Rich?
Yeah, surprisingly, I haven't gone for my jersey on this pick, but
Shocking.
I know I've missed a big opportunity there, haven't I? But yeah, I've gone with Tyrese Knight just because over the final 8 games, well, just 99 yards were allowed, and before that there was 139 over the first 9, and then he's played around 70% of the last 8 games, and I think he's just been excellent. And him and Ernest Jones together have got quite the little partnership going on there. And I think with Ernest Jones signed up now as well, that's our tandem for the next 2 to 3 years, secure in that area. So I just thought I'm really impressed with how he finished. And I think his ceiling's quite high, to be honest. And now there's going to be a bit of regularity between him and Ernest Jones being in that position. I think he can grow a bit more, and that's only going to benefit us. So yeah, it's Tyrese Knight for me.
I think that position is probably one of the ones where familiarity and communication is probably the most important on a football field. So having a stable running mate next to you that you can be really intuitive and in tune with that partner, I think that will give him an extra 10, 15, 20%. So I really like that answer. And also, who was picking Tyrese Knight as someone who could improve? Like he already sort of impressed us on what we expected. So that's a bold call, saying we'll get even more. But I'd be more than happy to have it. What about you, Gary?
I'm going to go for the obvious. It's Byron Murphy. I think you'll see him. I don't think he had as you say, I don't think he had a bad season last year at all. It's just the expectations of what people expected, that they expected sacks, etc. But this year, I think he's going to make the next step up. Hopefully, we'll add to the line as well, because I'd like to see us add to the line to strengthen the strength, to build that run wall, and obviously to bring something dominant along those trenches. It's sort of like both sides, I understand, but I feel that's a strength, but also I think it's something that we need to add to because of the age of some of our players. So I think we need to start thinking about the future as well already before it happens.
And it's what's interesting is that we played him a lot of the time as a one tech or a nose in that side, and I think being double teamed in the middle of the line has opened up so much room for other players to feast. And we saw career years for Hall and Leonard Williams, and I think that they owe a bit of that to Byron Murphy's impact. But Jonathan Hankins isn't on the roster this year. So does that mean that he's back there again, or does that mean we see investment at nose? Don't say it yet, Gary. I know what's coming from you later. But, yeah, I think that is going to be the sole best way to get more out of Byron Murphy, is to pick up a nose tackle that can eat double teams in the middle and let him be the one in those advantageous spots. So I don't think he even needs to improve his game to get more productivity if the line is fit for purpose.
Agreed.
But I think he done a lot of the unfancied stuff, didn't he, last year? That goes unnoticed and then doesn't get the reward out of it. I think that impact was, as you said, but then Mitch, about the other people getting all the glory really and getting their career years is because Murphy done a lot of that work that goes unnoticed.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Josh? What are you thinking?
I want to see AJ Barner take a bigger step up.
Mitch's guy, AJ Barner.
Thank you for correcting me there, Jonas. I've got to give him his full title on this podcast. Mitch's guy, AJ Barner. So last season, 30 receptions, 245 yards, 4 touchdowns, average of 8.2 yards per catch. Now, Noah Fant is tight end 1, fine, but unless he really shows himself in this Kubiak system, there is a lot of room to have a tight end who can block and then release from his block and get into space. And I think he would be a fantastic weapon to use in this scheme. That might just be me. I might just be blowing a bit of smoke up Mitch there for his correct draft pick last year. I'd love to see that, to be honest. I want to see this offense really start to hum. We've got some fantastic pieces on defense, both young and experienced, but AJ Barner I see as being someone that I'd really like to see make that step. There you go. And again, if anyone's got any other comments, please feel free to chuck them in the comments, and we'll bring them up just before we do our mock. Well, Mitch, there was a big intake of breath there, like my baby.
Do you know when it comes to AJ Barner, I'm so happy for him with the first year he had, and I like you say, I think he can be even more involved this year in this system. So I'm really intrigued to see what we do at tight end, because I think we also need another one. His blocking wasn't as impressive as people thought it would be, or certainly wasn't as consistent as people thought it would be. And if we draft a tight end, I think we'll be drafting a tight end that can do the fancy stuff. And that then forces him back into a position where he needs to do the bit he didn't do consistently. So I think that's a really interesting development, actually. Just, the development there will be interesting. Fascinated to see where we take a tight end in this draft, because I think we'll certainly take one.
I think that there's a few tight ends out there when you get past the top two in Loveland and Warren. There's a few tight ends out there that do have a decent blocking repertoire as well. So I think there's quite a few. I'd quite like my guy Terrace Ferguson to be a Seahawk, keep him in the Pacific Northwest, and let's just put that out there. Now, before we get on to draft crushes for each of you, Mitch had a very, very nice question in here, which I think is something that we should pose before we talk draft crushes to everyone. So, with the state of the roster at the moment, I think there are going to be some priority positions. Mitch definitely does. If we were to say from everybody, give us your first, second, and third, what would your priority positions to draft be? Mitch, this is your question, so you can go last. Jonas, you first.
I think I'm going from 1 to 3. I think it's obvious interior offensive line, obviously, but I do think the Seahawks have to be careful if they go there, because taking 2 offensive linemen with the first 3 picks is going to be a gross misuse of draft capital for me. So the class is so wide. There's a lot of value in there. You don't have to go first round, second round with an interior offensive lineman. You can address that later in the draft. I'd like to see them go for an offensive lineman early. Then obviously my second spot is Gary spoke about it, looking to the future, and I'm looking to the future at cornerback, because Spoon is him, but the other guys, Josh always says he's of the Rick Woolen experiment. I'm kind of the same, and I really like the story of Josh Jobe, but he has to replicate his 2024. So you have to go at cornerback in this draft, which could be a bit difficult, because I think after round 3, even after round 2, cornerback just falls off a cliff. So they have to address this early as well. And the third spot actually is edge for me, because you do have a young core with Mafe and Hall, but after that you have Chenna Nwosu, and he's hurt a lot in the last couple of years. And then your best pass rusher is Leo Williams, and you have to stack some talent up there.
Nice. Rich, give us yours.
So number 1, I've gone offensive line as well. I think I hope we take one early, but it looks like we brought about 60 years worth of coaching experience in with Clint has brought in with him. So I think that also points that they're going to try and coach what we currently got, which means people like Haynes come into play, Laumea comes back into play in Clint's system, and maybe a better fit in that. So I think we might take one. And I think it is a need, to be honest with you, because I think we need that bit of X factor in that position, and somebody who is a real nasty upfront guy who will cause a bit of damage to people, to be honest with you. We're a bit short of that. And that in itself is going to help everybody else. So I think that's number 1. Number 2, I've gone wide receiver. Yeah, we've lost Tyler, we've lost DK, we brought Cooper Cup in, but I still think we need another one, to be honest. And I think we need another high pick one as well, just somebody with that bit of quality. That would be my choice for number 2. And my third choice is tight end, because of Clint's scheme. He uses a multi-tight end formations and was one of the highest rates in the league in doing so. So I think we could do with another one of there. And to be honest, I really don't see Fant as a long-term fit. I just haven't been impressed with him, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he does do well this year. But I just feel that he could be an easy cap casualty to further down the line. And if we could bring AJ Barner up again, and because I thought he'd done pretty well last year, and he could kick on a bit, I just think a tight end could come in there and help us out with Clint's system. Yeah, so that'll be my 3.
Like it. Gary, what have you got for us?
No surprise, I don't think, for my first choice. That's where I'd like to see us go along the defensive line. No tackle, perhaps, and just bring in some depth there, because at the moment, I think we're a little bit bare. So that's what I'd like to see as my first choice. Second choice, I've gone specific. I've gone interior offensive line. I think we're all agree that is a need. And I've gone for left guard because I think that's more of a need. I agree with Mitch. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that Christian Haynes is going to be plugged in at right guard and he's going to fit there. So I think we need somebody at left guard. And then lastly, I've gone for, I agree with Rich with regards to wide receiver. Cooper Kupp, yeah, great player, coming towards the end of his career, but he's also a little bit injury prone. As we know, the last couple of seasons, he hasn't managed a full season. So I do think that we need some help there, because really at the moment, who have we got? We've got JSN, Cooper Kupp, Derek Young, yeah. and then it kind of sort of falls off a cliff almost to me. So I'm thinking, yeah, we could really do with some help there, quite frankly.
Did you mention Jake Bobo?
Jake Bobo, of course.
There you go. Go on, Mitch. What's yours?
Corner. I put corner probably as need number 1, because I think interior offensive line, we need it. We need it in terms of starting quality now, but I do think there's talent on the roster that can develop into those spots. Corner, I look at the room and I think we're already seeing ceilings on some of these players, and it's a weak spot. So I think my number 1 priority is to pick up a corner that can be lights out. And I think as well that you look at that defense now, it might not have too much X factor about it, but it ended up being quite a well-oiled machine apart from the corner room. So I think add a corner in there with a bit of X factor, a real, someone who sets the tone like Spoon, and I think that defense starts to sing. So corner's my number 1. Edge rush is my number 2. I know we got Lawrence, and we've got Maffei, and we've got Hall, and if he's fit, we've got Nwosu. But this roster wants 5. And the one thing we're really missing, when you think about it, if you've got those 4, that is a good 4. What it isn't is an elite 4. So if you're going to use a pick on an edge rusher, and we had Uman Mielen from Ole Miss come in, or he's coming in next week for an interview, for a visit. That's the guy for me. That's the X factor edge rusher to add to that group, to light people up. So someone like that added to that quartet, we are dynamite off the edge this year. So edge number 2, and then interior O-line then becomes 3. And I think only for the exact reason that Rich said, which is we almost need a tone setter, that nastiness, that sort of aggressiveness added into what is kind of a nice O-line. I want to see a barking dog. I want a junkyard dog in the middle of that line going into next year, and I think we can pluck that day 2, day 3. get that.
Yeah. I like it.
Right, you, mate.
I've got forward. Me. There you go. So I'm same as you. I think cornerback because Spoon. I'm over the wall and experiment. I want to see another hitter, someone who can play press, man coverage, and do it effectively, just erase people from the game. I've then gone for safety because love Kobe Bryant. I'm off the Eamon Worry train now. That's fine. I've actually done some scouting and read a lot of reports and stuff. And it'd be nice to have him, but I think there's other options. Safety because after Love and Bryant, you've got Reed. Who else on the roster?
Ty Okada.
Ty Okada. I was just about to say that.
Unproven. High hopes, but would you trust him starting a game at safety? All it takes is an injury to Love, and you're left with Bryant and Okada, or Jarrett Reed, who has been special teams if not injured. Or if Bryant goes down, it's then Love with one of the others. I'd like to see someone else so they can compete for that, that 1, 2, 3, and the fact that we do like now playing those 3 safety sets. 3, I think. Yeah, 3. See, go ourselves. Yeah, I think that should be something that we need to start looking at, and everyone's going to bang on about offensive, like the interior O line. It's a need, and I do think if we spend a high draft pick, it'll be a waste of a draft pick because there are other positions that we need to use. Like Mitch said, I think day 2, day 3, there are some fantastic prospects there that would fit really well into our zone blocking scheme, of which that we'll obviously go through more of them. But I think that's where it's going to be. It's going to be cornerback, safety, shore up that secondary with more rotation, and then interior O-line. And I think we can pick up some other bits, some other pieces of another wide receiver maybe later on. But I'd like to see those 3 needs met first. Yannick, who is currently tuning in, thank you very much, Yannick. He's got interior O-line, wide receiver, and cornerback. 1, 2, 3 for him. Anyone else who's watching, if you've got any more, chuck them in there. Mitch, you mentioned about the top 30 visits, and in our Discord, I saw you put a link up to the updated top 30 visits. Whilst we've got a couple of minutes, do you want to just go through who's on there? For people who hasn't seen it yet, you can by all means read them off, and let's fire through them.
Yeah, sure thing. I'll quickly run through the names. So we've got Tyler Shuck on there, Jalen Milroe, Bryce Cabaldou, who I have to really resist the urge to shout Cabaldou like John Cena's entrance music in the WWE. Emma Norrie, Chase Lunt, Savion Williams, who I love from TCU. I think he's a really, really good option, wide receiver for us day 2. Washington State's Asa Pole. We've got Mikael Williams as well, who's a lot of people's draft darling as well. Ty Robinson from Nebraska, Mason Taylor from LSU, the tight end. East Carolina's Shavon Ravel, who I know someone in this call particularly likes. Jackson Slater from Sacramento, interior O-line, who we've interviewed twice. Once at the Senior Bowl, and then now he's had a visit, I think, as well, or is due to. Dylan Fairchild, who's a versatile interior lineman from Georgia, who I quite like. Uman Mielen, who's coming in next week, edge rusher, who is probably my favorite edge rusher outside of the first round this year. And we've had Washington's linebacker Bruner. Is it Bruner or Bruner? I think it's Bruner. Bruner. Yeah. So there's a real mix of positions in there. We've got tight ends, defensive line, offensive line, 2 quarterbacks. So a real scattergun approach. There's no obvious position there that we're trying to cover. But yeah, that list is growing, and the link for all of our visits, the people we interviewed at the Combine, the people we interviewed at the Senior Bowl, all of that is in a handy little spreadsheet in our Discord. So I update that every couple of days. So if you want to save yourself scouting around the internet, I will bring it to you.
You couldn't ask for anything more, could you? And obviously, there's the conversation still flowing thick and fast in our Discord as well about a lot of these things. I'm still enjoying our community companions bit. That's one of my favourite bits to look at. When I'm feeling a bit down on a work day, I just look at other people's cats and dogs. I've become that guy.
Oh, I've got some treats. I've got some treats for you. I took some pictures and videos today of the dogs and cats at my gym because we have a bulldog, a Frenchie, and a Maine Coon that live at the gym. So I will share those in the Discord later.
What a gym! Right, well, with that, now we know the top 30 visits, and we've all sort of discussed who we'd like to draft. As this is a Draft Crushes episode, shall we start with some Draft Crushes?
Yeah.
And because we're gentlemen, Mitch, we'll let the guests go first. Jonas, you're up, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, Mitch already pointed at the guy I like, and he visited with the Seahawks, and that's actually Shavon Rivera Jr., cornerback from East Carolina. 6'1", 194 pounds, and I love this dude. It's just Spoon and him as a cornerback tandem for years to come. Just put it into my veins. It's just he has an awesome combination of height, length, speed. It's just skills you can't teach at a cornerback position. With that, he has exceptional football IQ. So it's a really rare combination. He can read route concepts. He can mirror receivers well. What's really awesome is his ball tracking skills, and he's got really long arms. So he's just a playmaker. And the only thing that is a bit scary is he tore his ACL last year at the beginning of the season, and I think week 4, so pretty early. And there's talk around the prospect sphere that he's just like Cooper Kupp. He's he made a full recovery. And if he hadn't torn his ACL, I think he would be a top 10 pick in this draft. He's probably the cornerback with the highest ceiling in this draft, in my eyes. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is that he may be a dream, because John Schneider always has been pretty careful about players with injuries. And even though Rivera made a full recovery, I think that's one of the pain points where John Schneider might say, "Oh, okay, he's probably not that high on our board." But I'd really love to see him in Seattle with Spoon.
Yeah, when I saw he was visiting with us, I in the back of my mind was, I really hope they do a thorough medical check and things. I'd almost be more interested in spending the time on that visit just checking that knee, because if they're content, you'll get a great deal on a really high ceiling. Yeah. Although granted, that kind of injury does tend to be a degenerative thing and could take 3 or 4 years off a career further down the line. But who cares if you get 2 contracts out of a guy that makes a difference on your roster? So I'm a big fan. I love the competitiveness and the downhill tackling, and the fact that he plays to his size in coverage and in run support. He is formidable, and he beats wide receivers at the line in press as well, which I really, really like. So big shout, that one.
If the Seahawks, so obviously, sorry, so he's supposed to be a first round talent, but I think the injury will put him down on some boards. So when he's healthy and he's available at the end of the second round, if the Seahawks do trade down or even stick at 18, I think he's going to be really valuable there. So I'd really love to see him.
Rich?
Well, I bought a first-class ticket on the train for Nick Emanori myself. So I'm really high on him. Sorry, Josh. So, yeah, I'll pay double the price of a ticket if we end up getting him, let me tell you, that's for sure. But no, I I'd like us to go for best player available method early on because of the draft picks we've got in our pocket. So if he's available, I think let's take him. He's had 43-inch vertical jump, 4.38 second 40-yard dash, and that's set him apart really in his positional group. I just think his size, his speed, but his brain power as well, and his playmaking is just elite. And he'll really add to what we've got. In fact, it'll enhance what we've got. I think he's that good. I just think Mike is on his way to building a mean defense with us, and I think he could be one part that's going to really take us on a bit again. I just think if he's there, best player available method, and just go and get him.
Like that. Gazette?
Yeah, I'm going to join the train, not the Nick Emamori train, but the train where we're all choosing defense for whatever reason. I'm not sure. But I've gone a different route, as we've alluded earlier. I'm going to go down the defensive line. I think a defensive or nose tackle is going to be the best choice for us, and I would like to see if we could get our mitts on Kenneth Grant, because I think that would really bolster the middle of the line. We've got nothing at the moment, so that's what my concern is, that we don't have anything at the moment, and I think he would feel that need and get us something there, and he would free up the rest of the line as well, which is what I'd be really excited about. He's going to be the guy that does the stuff like Byron Murphy did this year, where nobody sort of like really sees what he does, but he frees everyone else. And I think we need that. And he's going to contain the A gap. He's going to be big in his size. He's a big old boy. He's going to be able to fill the A gap for us and then free up the others. That's what I would like to see. I don't know whether he'll reach to the 18th pick, so that's another thing as well. But if he did, I would be chuffed if they did select him.
I think in terms of his projection, a lot of people have him now late first rather than early first. So even to the extent that I think if he was still on the board, maybe at around 40, 42, we might trade up to get a player like that from like the 50th or 52nd, come up the board a little bit and come and get him. I think he could drop out the first round due to other players climbing up boards. So because it's a less valued position, the level of the talent absolutely deserves it. It's a less valued position, and I think he'll fall due to other players' profiles going up. But I love the player, and I love the way you've explained it. There is exactly how my mind is seeing it. Getting the value out of that D line by strapping a guy in there that needs that double team, just like Byron Murphy did. That's huge value for us. So, Josh.
Oh, excellent. So I'm actually going to go offense. That's right. I've got a draft crush. Yeah, and this is someone that Hype's been building around. So with this Kubiak offense, we're going to be looking to play with a fullback. Now I think we've got Brady Russell on there already, who's going to be a tight end fullback hybrid, doing a bit of special teams as well. Harold Fannin Jr. Now, everything that I've been looking at, and I've had a few days away with work, so I've actually had a chance to do a little bit of this. He is shooting up draft boards for the right reasons. So I'll just give you some stats. Okay, and I've bookmarked this. So last season he played 13 games, and he was at Bowling Green. So he was Bowling Green's first ever All-American. He had 439 passing snaps, 168 inline, 139 slot snaps, and then he had 117 receptions of 150 targets for 1,555 yards for 13.3 yards, per reception, with 10 touchdowns. Now he is a big fella as well. It's exactly what we need. So he's 6'4", 230 pounds. For me, he is the type of player where you're going to be able to pick up in the second or third round to really fill that gap. And we're looking for a tight end that can do it all: blocking, receptions. He is my guy. I said about Terence Ferguson, that's purely because I'm an Oregon Ducks fan. But if we're going to look at another tight end in the mid rounds, he would be the one for me. I did research, Mitch.
I'm shocked.
That's right.
I'm not shocked you did research. Just you came here with stats and everything. I'm so proud.
Bookmark pages, everything. See, what do you know? What I need to do? I need to go away with work more when I've got those lonely evenings in a hotel, and I'm just there searching through like draft stuff. So there you go, Mitch. Who's your one at the moment?
I'm
Give
not
us
going to
one.
harp on about this. Yeah, I'm not going to harp on because we've talked about him on pretty much every pod we've done so far. But Jalen Walker is the guy that I think, similar to Emanori, I think if you put a player like that in, it takes the defense up a level because it adds that a sprinkle of stardust and that multiplicity of being able to line someone up in multiple spots, expect different things from them, the element of surprise that Mike Mack wants to have. I think Jalen Walker has the keys to the city in terms of, opening up the playbook and making great plays. So Jalen Walker, I would be running to the podium if he's there at 18. If
That was the toss-up last week, wasn't it? Was it
I'm
Jihad
still
Campbell?
Walker.
You're still Walker.
I'm still Walker.
Well, Dom was waxing lyrical all about Jihad Campbell, and then Walker was there, and we had to pick Walker. And I think personally that would be a home run hit in that first round. It just mean that Tyrese Knight would have to work exceptionally hard to get in that middle linebacker role next to Ernest Jones. But then Walker can line up all over, can't he?
That's it. Yeah, you can put him anywhere.
Yeah, that's it. So a couple of comments that have come in. So thank you once again to everyone who is watching this. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, just do us a favor. If you're watching on YouTube or you're not, head over to YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can interact with us on every single pod. You could even be like these fine gentlemen on here with us and join us on a pod. Throughout the season, we aim to get as many 12s on as possible. This is your platform to talk about the Seahawks. So a couple of comments. We had a few come in from X, which is always nice. So I'm Just Ghost has said, Jihad Campbell is my draft crush. Guy would be a future Fred Warner type. Also likes McMillan. I'm just going to say a little bit about McMillan now. I think he took himself off the Seahawks board by saying, I don't watch film.
Yeah,
I
was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, Mike Mack wants football guys. He wants guys who love football, who live and breathe football. If one of the first things you say, I don't really watch film, I just go out there and do it, that's a big old cross through your name for me. He's also said he likes Sable as well. And here we go. Carmen Schofield has just said during the 30 visits, they do full med checks, which they need to for some of these players because there's so many niggly injuries. I mean, Ravel, he's had injuries through high school, college, and the hope is going to be back by training camp to fitness, but you can never tell. So they were the main ones we've got coming in. Oh, we've got some new ones as well. Thank you, Paul. That's there you go. I'm just going to put this up there to give him some spot in the limelight. That's mine and Mitch's fantasy football GM. He's a Raiders fan, but we don't hold it against him. But if you want to join the Discord, Mitch has also put the link in there. Now, let's get into the mock. I'm not sure. I'll be very honest. Anyone who's watching this, there's 5 people on here. So let's see how this works.
That's a lot of screen.
We're all going to be teeny tiny. Oh, there we go. We're in. It's just me that I'm kind of covered, but I don't really mind. So we'll do this on consensus. So it will be the majority that wins the vote on these. We'll do vanilla draft as we've done with everyone else. So no trades, and we'll be the Seahawks. So again, we are using mock draft database. No, I'm not using Walk the Mock. Sorry, someone told me about mock draft database the other day. If you want to use it, use code 12Talk at 20% off the full experience, and use the default rankings, which I believe were updated this week as well, which is absolutely fantastic for us. Now, this is the moment where I put my spectacles on. Oh, look. Jonas, me and you, trendsetters, mate. Right.
Yeah.
Let's start this draft. And we are on the board. So just before us, Kelvin Banks went to the Bengals. Derek Harmon went to
Jesus.
the Cardinals. And then, oh, wow, this really has updated. So let's have a look. For those of you that will listen to this on any of the streaming platforms, available to us, Tyler Warren, Jalen Walker, Will Johnson, Shamar Stewart, Michael Williams, Jade Barron, Jihad Campbell still there, Colston Loveland, Malachi Starks, Kenneth Grant, James
Jesus.
Pierce Jr., Nick Emanwari.
Everybody.
I think, yeah. So who's gone? Membu Green's gone, Will Campbell's gone, Mason Graham, Matthew Golden, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Ashton Genty went to the Giants. Yeah, there's a lot of these I can see as going before us, but maybe not in that order. So, gents, bear in mind what we said we thought.
Dream.
There you go. Bear in mind what we said we thought our preferences were for the roster holes that needed filling. Who are we going for? So if we go, we've got tight end, linebacker, cornerback. If Will Johnson was there, I think we would run to the podium for him. But then the same with Jalen Walker. I'm not sure Tyler Warren would be that high on our draft board, if I'm being very honest, when you've got Noah Fant on there and there's other options further down.
I think Will Johnson won't be there either.
No. I think if we're looking realistically, you're going to be looking at your Jalen Walkers, maybe Shamar Stewart, Michael Williams, Jade Barron could be there, Jihad Campbell. Loveland has the
I
potential.
think could be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Possible.
So what are we thinking, chaps?
Why don't we just snap off a knee-jerk, answer? So we'll just run through from Jonas to Rich to Gary. Just say a name. Don't give us a reason. Just shotgun through. Starting with you, Jonas. Who's your pick?
Loveland.
Rich?
Loveland as well, if he's there.
Gaz? It's tough.
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, I'd happily go with Loveland, but I'd also obviously like to see Grant. But hey, I wouldn't be upset if they chose Loveland.
Josh?
Do you know what? For the sake of this mock, and bearing in mind, I think every other mock we've done, we have picked a defensive player with our first pick. I'd be happy to go with a consensus, and the consensus from our guests is Colston Loveland.
Let's do that. I like it too.
Colston Loveland, you are a Seahawk.
And now the wait begins.
This is where we see everyone start going. There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Schwessinger's gone to the Eagles because they need more linebackers.
Of course they do.
Jackson Dart went to the Giants. Emanwari went to Tennessee, another franchise where careers go to die. James Pierce Jr. has gone to the Jags, so we'll look forward to seeing him in London. And you've got Omarion Hampton has gone to the Raiders, so they got their running back in the end. Oh, well, I actually don't mind how this board's fallen for a lot of people. All right, but let's have a look. So for Quinn Ewers is Dolphin.
Damn the Falcons. Right. Jesus.
Yeah. And the Falcons took Siobhan Ravel. So we are now going to be looking at a cornerback that I wouldn't mind in Trey Amos. You've got Landon Jackson, defensive line from Arkansas. You've got Travian Henderson, running back. We don't need that. Who else is there? Xavier Watts would be an intriguing prospect for us, I think. Tariq Williams, defensive line as well, out of Ohio State. JT Tuimoloau. Am I right in saying that, Mitch? He's an Islander.
Tuimoloau, yeah, close.
Damn it. Just so you know, I need to do more reading up. Jaden Higgins is still there as well. Trey Harris, and then Princely Umamielen. But we do have 2 picks. There you go. I'm learning. So What are we all thinking? Go on, guests first.
Yeah. Looking at how the cornerbacks are falling, Ezra Thomas is gone as well, Siobhan Ravel, and the need is there. Trey Amos, in my view.
So yeah, so if you're looking at
Because
cornerbacks that are still
otherwise,
available,
yeah,
you've
it
got
falls off a cliff.
Amos. Yeah, Amos, Porter, Parrish. I think they're the top three that we look for there, and below that is like that's where I think, in my personal opinion, the cliff edge is. Parrish is just starting the descent, but after that, it's you clutch at straws and get Kobe Bryant, hoping he's going to be good. So you're thinking Trey Amos, Rich?
Yes.
Yeah, any one of them top two, to be honest with you, I'd be happy with at this stage. Yeah, so that's why.
Gary?
Yeah, likewise. Unless you wanted to be different and go wide receiver and Higgins, but otherwise, yeah, happy with.
Well,
Jackson
we pick again.
We've
In
got
two
two
picks.
Yeah.
So for me, I think with these two picks, and Mitch, you'll probably correct me on this, but I think taking the top cornerback available would be fantastic, and then you look to. I think the wide receiver option is probably best because interior O-line, you've got Savanier as well.
Tate Ratledge is
there as well.
That would be a slam. That's a slam dunk pick. To be honest, I think Trey Amos and then hope Tate Ratledge is there is maybe just two slam dunks in a row.
Quite like that. Yeah. We all in agreement with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trey Amos.
No.
Oh my God.
Who'd be a GM, eh? That's the last time I ever give John Schneider any stick.
And Tate
The
Ratledge
freaking Broncos.
to the Broncos straight after us. And so that leaves us with Savanier. You've got Dylan Fairchild still there, Jared Wilson, Jackson Slater's further down the board there as well. If we look at offensive tackles that could move inside, Wyatt Millam. Right, Mitch. Now what?
You got to come to me for the solution. Show me shit. Can I have a consonant? I mean, a wide receiver.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Let's have a look. Because if Higgins is there, I think that's a really good pivot.
Yeah.
We with agreement. There you go.
100%.
Yeah.
Jaden Higgins. I think he has appeared in every mock that we've done so far.
Yeah.
And rightly
He's
so.
a superb fit as well for what we're lacking in that wide receiver room for me too.
Yeah, agreed.
So Carmen, sorry, just to cover you up there, Gary, but Carmen was there saying Malachi Starks, which I would not. I would be more than happy to have taken him as well.
Second.
He did. So here we go. We are now in the third round. Top of the board, you've got Wyatt Millam.
Yeah.
Cameron Williams is still there. You've got Jordan Birch from Oregon. Emory Jones Jr. What position are we thinking, lads? That's the big question now.
What about the O-line?
I think that was the chance to address it in the.
Yeah.
So it's basically going to be
presenting great value at this point, and we do need a swing tackle. He's projected to play interior, both spots, center and guard at the next level. So I think there's versatility and quality and value with that pick, but I don't know what other people think. I think you struggle to get a better O lineman, and that's going to drop off a cliff to some extent as well. So.
I think personally taking someone like Milam, and then further down, if we start looking at, they obviously like Jackson Slater. I think we can get him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Start of the fourth, maybe. I've been on next pick in the third.
Yeah, but you do pick at one. No, which one is the next fourth? Oh.
So this is round 3, pick 18. Then we've got round 3, pick 28. I wouldn't be angry on during the draft if this third round we just went O-line heavy, and we picked the best ones that they've looked at. But I'd be happy with Milam. I don't know what
Yep.
anyone else is thinking.
I agree
You happy
with
with
it.
that?
Yeah.
All right. Right, Milam, you're in.
So now
Right,
it's
so here we go.
137, isn't it? I think.
Mhm. So this is where Jackson Slater is still on the board. We've got Jared Wilson, we've got Ozzy Trapilo, and we've got Holland Pierce as well from Rutgers.
One thing we're at risk of here is losing a shot at a edge rusher that can add quality to that edge room. So I think it's worth just having a quick
Look at edge. So
I
you've
think-
got
I think that's
Jared
flatlined.
Ivey, yeah, Sabian Jones,
Yeah.
David Walker, Baron Sorrell, or Sorrell.
What about a nose tackle like CJ West? Is he still around or has he gone?
Ty Robinson's there.
Norman
We've had it
Lott
on.
is still there. Jesus.
Yeah,
Ty Robinson, yeah. Norman Lott just, I think he visited with like every team. He's so
coveted by a lot of teams.
of teams requested him, so he's highly regarded. Yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I really like
I'm
Ty
with you.
Robinson, but Norman Lott is at this point.
Yeah, another good value pick as well.
Tell me
It's
what to
going to be
pick,
at the
boys.
cost of it's going to be at the cost of O-line, isn't it? But I think
Yeah.
D-line's going to drop off a cliff too if we don't touch on it.
Agree.
That's what we're thinking.
Norman
Norman Lott,
Yeah, let's go.
Bosh,
Yeah, it's good to me.
he's in. This is where you've really got to start digging into your bag of draft knowledge.
Oh, damn. Slater's gone.
Yeah.
Where did Slater go?
Jeez.
Oh, Kobe Bryant went to the Rams.
Slater
Jackson
to the
Slater has gone to
Titans.
Tennessee. My
Unlucky.
boy Terrence Ferguson's gone to Oregon. So what are the tight ends have we got there?
We do have
So,
Corson Loveland.
Yeah, we
I
do.
don't think
Yeah,
you need tight end.
Yeah, tight
No.
end we've done.
So far, just
What
for
about
anyone
O line?
Alright,
Sorry.
So for anyone, so I was going to say, for anyone who's just
There it is.
jumping in,
Jonas is doing a
Yeah,
great
yes.
impression of the entire fan base at this point. What about the O-line?
Yeah.
so for anyone who's just tuning in, I'll do a quick recap. I'll do a full one at the end. But we took, with our first pick, we took Colson Loveland, tight end from Michigan, another Michigan tight end. And then with round 2, pick 18, Trey Amos, cornerback from Ole Miss. Round 2, pick 20, we took Jaden Higgins, wide receiver from Iowa State. Round 3, pick 18 there, Wyatt Milam, offensive tackle, projected to play interior O-line from West Virginia. And round 3, pick 28 there is Omar Norman Lott, D-line from Tennessee, which leaves us now with a big deep breath. And who do we go for? Joshua Gray from Oregon still there. Miles Frazier from LSU. So there's some pedigree there. Caleb Rogers. Chase
Lunt is still there. I really like him. What about
He is.
Brenningstool? Is he still there?
Yeah, but again, that's going to be tight end. That'll be two.
Tight end. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Chase Lunt. I really like him. He
gets
he
the
played
second
together
level very well. Very
Yeah.
athletic. I've
He
been
played
Lonnie
together
Westwood.
with Christian Haynes at UConn. They
Mhm.
were teammates.
What are we thinking, gents?
Who have we got at
I'd
safety?
go for Chase Lunt. Safety.
Do you want to look at safeties? My
Just to
guy.
upset the fan base.
Why
Just as
do
a-
you want to look at safety?
Hey,
So Malachi
Who knows?
Moore still there. Jalen Reed. Jonas Sanka is in there.
Yeah.
Um,
there's a bit of talent
Caleb
still there.
Branshaw. Craig Woodson. Hunter Waller. Let's look. What about linebackers? Who else is still there? Dumas Johnson's still there, but we've got a chance to get him later on. Buchanan, Kobe King, Jay Higgins. I'm going to be very honest. I think this is the time when we do go
Yeah,
for something
because-
like Chase Lunt.
Yeah,
because we pick it
I like
again in
Chase
3
Lunt.
picks,
Hmm.
and I don't want to risk losing Lunt there. So
You don't
That'd
want
be
another
fine.
Ratledge.
Just it won't possibly happen. You know.
no. Don't
I'm just
do
going
it.
to
I don't want to get
click
sniped.
the button
Yeah.
for Chase Lunt. You're a Seahawk. I'm not having that happen again. I don't think my heart can handle it.
Oh, now
There we
come
go.
the
Now we're into the 5th
2
round.
picks in a row. Yeah. Okay.
So this is where we could take someone like Jalen Reed as a free safety there.
Yeah.
You've also got linebackers like Teddy.
Yeah.
Buchanan.
There's some names in there where just the spelling is just wild.
So odd. There you go. You've got Powell Ryland as well, edge from Virginia Tech. This is reaching into your bag. Mitch, what are you thinking?
Jay Higgins, linebacker, Iowa.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard of him
That
as
is a
well.
linebacker that was considered a early second or late first prospect at the beginning of this year, and multiple factors have meant he's fallen. But it doesn't change the fact that there are serious projections for his ceiling. I honestly think that is a huge value pick there at a position where we need depth. So that's a nice drop for us, I think.
All in favour?
Yep.
Aye.
Excellent. I lean on our draft guru when it comes to these later rounds at the moment. So, Jay Higgins, you are in. Oh, and we're back on the clock again.
Yeah. Maybe it's
Now,
Reed is still
is-
there.
Is this where we take Jalen Reed, a free safety?
I'd say so. Yeah.
I'd be happy with
I
that.
think, yeah,
Yeah,
consensus, yes, all round.
beautiful. Jalen Reed, you're in. And now we wait for the 7th.
This won't be a credible Seahawks draft if we don't take a running back. So,
Yeah.
I think that has to be first consideration.
Oh, and as well, Khalil Mullins is right there at the top. Who else have we got?
Give it a scroll.
Surek, Craig Woodson as well, strong safety out of California.
The Quint Allen.
Hunter Bowler, the Quint Allen, who have we interviewed him? I can't remember. I heard that we'd
don't
spoken
think
to him
so.
at some point.
But it might have been a Pro Bowl.
Yeah. And then we are getting into bottom of the
Yeah. I have no
quarterback.
idea about any of these players, to be honest.
Yeah.
Curtis Rourke,
Yeah, it was just a joke. Just a joke.
Seth
Don't mind
Hennigan.
it.
still there. Let's have a look. In fact, D-line, who's still there?
Your boy Nazir Stackhouse is there. Get that
Stackhouse
load
is still
in
there.
I think that might be quite good, actually.
Yeah.
Big
Would
space.
you
eater.
go Stackhouse and then just for being a Seahawks draft, would you then go to
running back,
the
yeah.
running back room?
Yeah.
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 Wrapping up with the running back.
Right.
Give me
So-
another Chris Carson.
Here's my pledge. If we draft Nazir Stackhouse, I will wear a Stackhouse jersey. I love the name for the position he plays. It'd be weird if he was a corner, but honestly, I just want to wear that jersey because I'm a really broad, tall bloke anyway. I just think it. Yeah, get that name on my
Yeah.
book.
Work. Are we all okay with Stackhouse? Let's just bulk up that
Yeah.
interior D-line. Bosh. And now Shiloh Sanders went in the 7th round.
I don't want Daddy Sanders anywhere near Seattle, please.
Right. So now
Running back.
let's look at who else is available. So Colin Oliver, edge from Oklahoma State. Then you've got another D-line in Tim Smith. You've got Brandon Crenshaw Dixon, offensive tackle from Florida. Dante Trader. Do you know who we haven't checked for, Mitch? Where's your
Thornton
boy?
Jr.?
Thornton Jr. He has
I
gone.
imagine he's
I
gone
believe.
because he's creeping up
Yeah.
boards, I think.
He is. I think after his his pro day result,
He
where
is
his
rapid.
his 40 was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Oh,
Show me
Cody
the running
Lindenberg's
backs.
there, but we've done.
Ah,
Yeah,
we already got a linebacker. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
did.
think you need another one.
no. I'm scanning through these, thinking who's got the physical traits or the
Yeah.
just something special that you can punt on this late, but it's not much. Raheem Sanders, running back. That's not terrible. Maybe just consider
South
that's come back
Carolina.
to-
Well, if
Yeah.
we're looking at running backs, we've got Krosky Merritt, who had 106 rushing yards last year. Raheem Sanders, who had 881 rushing yards, 316 receiving yards, 13 touchdowns.
His career, his collegiate career, though, across the span will look really impressive. I think body of work, and because he was at Arkansas for 2 years prior, I think did a lot of good work there. Yeah.
What are we thinking, gents? Are there any other positions of need you want us to look at? Bear in mind, so we've taken a tight end, cornerback, wide receiver, 2 offensive tackles that could kick inside, 2 D linemen, a linebacker, and a free safety so far.
Sanders or James? James was really good as well at Oregon.
I'm fine with either. I do think we need to take a running back in this class.
Yeah,
running back for sure.
just
For me, it's Raheem
Surprise.
Sanders.
yeah.
And you got Jordan James, who had 1,267 rushing yards, 209 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns.
At Oregon,
Last season.
they were a real powerhouse there.
Yeah.
Sanders or James?
I think James
Let's do it.
played in a better
Sure,
conference,
yeah.
better results there. Well,
Keep
that too.
keep him in the Pacific Northwest.
Exactly. See, there you go. Jonas knows.
Great
And
mark.
this is going to be it. Great mark.
Great mark.
I love him.
Right. So for those who are just tuning in, I will put this on our socials with the rest of them. I need to collate them all. So in the first round, we took Colson Loveland, tight end from Michigan. And then the second round, we had Trey Amos, cornerback from Ole Miss, followed by Jaden Higgins, wide receiver from Iowa State. Third round, we went Wyatt Milam, offensive tackle from Western Virginia. And then the second pick in the third round, we went Omar Norman Lott, defensive lineman from Tennessee. In round 4, we took Chase Lunt, offensive tackle from UConn. In round 5, it was Jay Higgins. That's not going to get confusing at all, that is it? Between Jaden and Jay.
No.
Linebacker from Iowa. And then Jalen Reed, free safety from Penn State. In round 7, I think there's actually quite a bit of value in what we picked in round 7 there. When Nazir Stackhouse, D lineman from Georgia, and then Jordan James, running back from Oregon. Now,
Can you imagine if we picked Kobe Bryant the corner and we had Kobe Bryant, Jay Higgins, Jaden Higgins, and then we'd have had Jaden Reed. Is it Jaden Reed and Reed? We've got a Reed in our safety room already.
Yeah.
Madness.
we've got
Jaron
Jared
Reed
Reed and we've got Jaron Reed.
Derek Reed and Jaron Reed and
Darren and Jarrett Reed.
All the Reeds.
Nothing like confusing matters, eh?
No.
So that was Draft Crushers episode 5. I'd personally like to say a massive thank you to all 3 of our guests. I love these little round tables that we do. This is a nice precursor for our pre-draft pod, our pre-draft party pod. Jonas is already sending me cocktail ideas. Anyone else can join with a cocktail or a mocktail. We'll have a few guests on. We'll have an open space for people. Guests that'll be dipping in and out. But for me, I just want to say a huge thank you for everyone who's joined us as well. Thank you so much. It's amazing having you guys on. If you haven't already, by all means, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We really appreciate everyone who does that. It really helps us grow and helps that algorithm thing that everyone talks about. If you don't want to like and subscribe and just want to chat to us and plenty of other people, join our Discord. Mitch has popped the link in the comments. And if you want to use Walk the Mock, they don't just do the vanilla mock. There's loads of others on there. Use code 12 Talk and you can get 20% off the full amount that you pay for the full package. But, gentlemen, thank you so much again. I know I'll be speaking to you again in the Discord when I dip in. There'll be plenty of links and memes and pictures of people's dogs and cats put in there. And why wouldn't there be? Have you all had a good time?
No,
Definitely.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Thank you.
really enjoyed it.
Absolutely rubbish. But I just want to say for myself, and I'll speak on Mitch's behalf, thank you to you guys. Thank you to everyone who tunes in. We'll be back next week with another special guest. And as is customary with these, should we finish with a Go Hawks? Should I count us down and see if we can get it in unison?
let's try.
This is where we test how delayed people's internet is. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
Hawks.